And let's go.
Okay. I don't know how you usually start them.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your mad scientist, and this here is our badass Michelle. Say hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Today's topic is yo-yo dieting. It's not a diet. So where, Michelle, have you come up with this topic?
Well, this topic is my life. Tons of yo-yo dieting throughout my life. Not eating as well, and basically figuring things out and realizing that it's not a diet, it's a way of life.
So you said you've been doing this forever.
Yeah, I mean, there was one point I think I was living on rice cakes, coffee, and I forget the name of it, but it was a fat burner. So, yeah,
That'll
I've
work.
tried it all. And even some of the new ones that are great, but people never follow through with it, the paleo, the keto, things like that. It's just that everybody wants to pick something, try it, and not give it the time that it needs to let it become their lifestyle.
So why wasn't eating rice cakes, fat burners, and coffee it for you? I mean, why didn't you just maintain that for the rest of your life?
It can't really sustain much. You don't have any muscle. You don't have any energy.
I wouldn't think so.
So, yeah, I was nice and skinny.
A lot of people, though, think if you're eating, fat burners, there's caffeine and stimulants in them, and coffee, another stimulant. Why don't you just have energy all day long? That's why people reach for coffee 2, 3 in the afternoon, right?
You do have energy, but then it dies down, and then you have to reach for it again. So it's a constant back and forth, up and downs.
So tell me about you, because I've seen you recently and what you've done for yourself. If you haven't seen the pictures of Michelle yet, scroll down a little bit. You're not stalking in a weird way. It's cool to scroll down. I mean, we've got over 1,000 posts. That took a lot of time, so feel free. So
Yes.
what got you from yo-yoing to how you looked there, and what have you been doing since?
Well, I've always been able to help people with meal plans and coming up with, changing their diets and things like that. So I always knew what to do, but it just wasn't working for me anymore. I started going through a depression with loss, and menopause started hitting in, and anything I knew that worked just wasn't working anymore. So that's when I found the mad scientist. And I had my blood work done and found my food sensitivities, and that was a game changer. Everything I was eating that was healthy, that people would have thought that they were doing the right thing, just wasn't working. I mean, I had to stop eating tuna, salmon, cauliflower, green beans, just to name a few, because there's quite a lot. But all of them were causing inflammation in my body, and I just wasn't able to lose any weight. And that inflammation was also causing injury after injury, so I wasn't able to work out like I used to. So all that muscle that I had went away. And I'll be nice and say I was fluffy, very fluffy. And I was miserable. And that's when I needed help. And I finally decided I help everybody. And now I needed help because I was not living my life fully because I was so unhappy with myself. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to do any kind of videos on social media. So
it seems like individuals such as yourself, and you're actually a coach. I mean, a lot of individuals mean well to help others,
yes.
But you have the knowledge and experience to be a coach, and here you are helping others.
Yes.
Why do you think so many individuals out there are more comfortable helping others than actually taking a step back and helping themselves first? Because if you're not helping yourself first and being the best you possible, then you're giving forth lackluster help to others, aren't you?
Well, it's easier to tell somebody what to do than to do it yourself.
True.
Because then
Get
you
up
have
at
to
5 in the morning, right?
You've got to put in that time and that energy to make those changes. But once you start making those changes, everything just becomes better. And then you're able to help those people that much more. You're a better mother. I mean, I've become a better wife, a better mother, better friend, better daughter, better everything to everybody because I'm happy and I'm full of energy and I'm living my best life right now.
Mm-hmm. So let's not pick on other companies or brands as much, but let's do the same thing. So what's that one? It's a shake. Is it not Shakeology. What's the shake that everyone goes on to lose weight?
Oh, isogenic.
Isogenics. Yes, isogenics is a great one.
I've done that.
I'm using that as a yo-yo diet example. So isogenics, I know a lot of people utilize isogenics, have lost a bunch of weight.
Oh, yeah.
And 100% of people have all gained it back.
Yes.
Then they think, oh, let me lose it again, let me go back on isogenics. Is that not the definition of yo-yo?
Absolutely. And of course, you're going to lose weight when you're going from eating whatever you want and eating out of control to being restricted. Very restricted. And you're going to drop the weight. But you can't sustain that. And it can't happen.
So what advice would you give somebody who has been following that for a long time, comes to you and says, I'm just going to go on this new shake diet and that's that? What type of advice might you want to give them in order to live healthier for the rest of their life, not just this little fad for the next month and then waste their time again?
Well, you need to be able to live. You need to be able to be healthy and happy. You need to learn what you can eat and what you can't eat. And my first suggestion for everybody is you've got to get the blood test. You've got to find out what your food sensitivities are so that you know where to go from there. And sometimes you're not going to be happy with not being able to eat certain foods.
Agreed.
I wasn't, but I learned to adapt. And then once I adapted and I really lost the weight and I did my show, then I was able to bring in some other foods that I had to completely cut out. But I found alternatives. Like I found an alternative to my crunchy cheese doodles. Yes. So I can still eat cheese doodles, with a sandwich, with the proper bread, with the proper lunch meat that I can have, with the proper cheese that I can have. So I can still have normal things. I just do it differently. And I still even eat pizza, but I eat it differently. And I scrape down all the cheese and I just put it on that little piece of crust. So my carb intake is not as high as it would be if I downed a whole piece of pizza, and I calculate it. I keep track of it all. Because when I don't keep track of it all, that's when everything goes haywire. So
it's fascinating. Individuals I know that have tracked it, and I'll pick on Shantae, for instance. Same as you. Tracks it, has everything down, eventually over time knows it, and then moves on. But every once in a while, you start to notice a pound this week, and next week is 2 pounds. Before you know it, you got to go back to that tracking as a little reminder, right?
Yeah.
It helps.
I'm actually there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks I've been exhausted. I don't feel like I've been able to get enough sleep at all. And I know it's a change of the weather and whatnot, but yeah, I slowed down on my track and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that. But then it's just easy to grab something because you're not tracking for the day. Oh, well, let me have a little bite of that. And it all adds up. So tracking is very, very important.
Absolutely. So I'd like to go over one other thing before we head off here. So Michelle decided today to take a product called Sweat.
Yes.
So what Sweat is, I don't have the bottle of Sweat in here right now, but Sweat is as we sink down, the T2. Ooh, here we go, camera. T2, this is a fat burner. It increases your metabolism. This one is not caffeinated whatsoever. It nourishes the thyroid, but it also has some ingredients in there that
help you sweat.
Are herbal ingredients that do, in fact, make you sweat. I tried it myself last week, and my tongue was sweating. So how are you feeling right now?
I'm a little wet underneath. My sports bra and my tank are soaked. So I'm going back and forth with chills. I just need a cup of coffee to keep me a little warm through this. But it's definitely working. My nose is running. So I think the effects are good. And I only took half a scoop.
Yeah, you did. I took the full scoop.
I only took half a scoop. I'll work my way up to that.
Do you need a sweat formula to exercise? No. But some individuals enjoy that sensation when they're exercising to know that you're just profusely sweating.
Yeah, because I'm not a sweater.
Right.
I can work out and barely sweat at all.
If you're looking to actually do a real detox, none of these pills, potions, and powders work, but your body actually detoxes by sweating. It's one of the ways. It also detoxes by breathing. It's also how you lose fat. It's through breath, through other gross stuff that happens on the human body. These are all ways that we detox the body. So sweating is an amazing way to do so, and utilizing the sweat formula definitely works. It's tried and proven here in the lab.
And the sauna.
There's the sauna. Yes, you can just hop in the sauna. All right, that's all we have now for yo-yo dieting. It's not a diet. Any questions, comments, concerns? Well, questions, ask us. Comments, keep them yourself. Anything else, Michelle?
That's it. Have a great day.
As always, live functionized.